Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Caesar Rodney rode 80 miles through a raging thunderstorm, sick with asthma and facial cancer, to break a deadlock and secure independence on July 2nd, 1776. That's the detail that Donald Trump put back on center stage while the anti-American crowd spent years trying to teach your kids that the founding was something to sneer at. Now Trump is doing the opposite. He's throwing a national birthday party so big that Washington is bracing for the largest fireworks display in American history. He's promising a marathon July 4th speech on the Mall. This country built itself on grit, like Rodney's, and Trump plans to make America remember it. This matters because nations do not stay strong by accident. They stay strong when the people know who they are, who built the country, and who spent years trying to tear that memory to pieces. Barack Obama's cultural heirs, the Biden-era grievance machine, legacy media scolds, and every museum board patriotism hater pushed the same poison for a decade. Apologize for America. Mock the flag. Downgrade the founders. Elevate every foreign grievance banner over the stars and stripes. And Trump just smashed that script. He's not whispering around the 250th. He's flooding the National Mall with power, history, spectacle, and gratitude. Fireworks barges are moving into place. Roads are closing. Washington is bracing for a celebration on a superpower scale. And Trump is tying that pride to real results right now. He said it flat out. Right now, we are in a golden age. He said, we have more factories being built today than ever before, and normal people's 401ks are hitting record levels. That's the stake. A country that honors Caesar Rodney, what Caesar Rodney builds. A country that hates Caesar Rodney collapses. You see, Caesar Rodney rode 80 miles through a storm because freedom demanded clarity, and your family deserves that same clarity on Medicare. The Medicare confusion industrial complex floods seniors with junk so they stay trapped. Chapter cuts through it, and they're simple by design. One call, one advisor, under 20 minutes. They look at your doctors, your prescriptions, your whole situation, and tell you the truth. No propaganda, just facts. They work for you, not big insurance. So if you're already on the right plan, they will say it. If not, they'll help you switch. It's free. Call Chapter at the number on the screen, 910-728-4109. Last year, people who found new plans with Chapter saved an average of $1,100. Clarity matters when bureaucrats want you confused. Do not let bureaucrats rob your wallet while America is roaring back. And here's the part the America haters can't stand. Trump did not just post one heroic horseback ride and call it a day. He tied Rodney's storm ride to a living exhibit in Washington, then stacked that history next to a July 4th celebration so huge even CBS admitted the world has never seen this scale before. 9 launch sites in one section, 8 more beyond it. And while Trump builds the stage, Iran is still posturing like a cornered thug. I'm going to pull up the receipts because the contrast is just too perfect to ignore. Here is what the White House just posted. America's greatest hits, one era at a time since 1776. It's been a long time coming. The White House tribute puts 250 years of American greatness front and center. Now Trump is turning history into live July 4th message with a marathon speech and a massive preparation already underway. Trump is teasing a marathon speech. We've seen his speeches before. This is going to be his longest one ever. What's he going to go for, 4 hours? I don't know.
We're coming in, we noticed that the barges carrying all the fireworks are being floated into position and dump trucks are being turned to block traffic on the roads to the National Mall where the firework viewing area is, as President Trump teases remarks that he says will be meant as an endurance test.
This week, we look back on 250 years of glorious freedom, and we took so much time and so much effort. And by the way, on July 4th, it's going to be approximately 107 degrees out. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make a really long speech just to show that I can do anything.
He'd like to end the Iran war once and for all. But according to the Wall Street Journal, the Iranians have now rejected a trade where the U.S. would unfreeze billions of dollars of frozen Iranian money if the Iranians just stop threatening to charge tolls in the Strait of Hormuz and stop claiming they own the Strait of Hormuz, which is an international body of water. The strait is the reason, of course, that gas prices remain high, but they are coming down. Look right now. The current average, $3.82 a gallon. Last week, it was higher at $3.90, and last month, much higher at $4.26. And as Griff Jenkins was just talking about, the president's big event today is going to be taking the new Air Force One out to South Dakota for remarks and fireworks at Mount Rushmore. There is a bill kicking around in the House of Representatives, introduced by some of the president's pals over there, to put his face on Mount Rushmore. But in looking this up this morning, a quick Google showed me that there are both political and geological concerns with that.
So while crews lock down Washington for the 250th, Trump's also pointing viewers back to one patriot who helped make the country possible. His post on Caesar Rodney tells the story of the 80-mile ride that broke the deadlock for independence. 250 years ago, on the eve of America's momentous vote for independence, Caesar Rodney received word that he was urgently needed to break a deadlock among the delegates to the Second Continental Congress. Although he suffered from asthma and facial cancer, Rodney immediately set forth on an 80-mile overnight journey by horseback from Dover, Delaware to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And during a raging thunderstorm, he arrived 250 years ago this very day, July 2nd, 1776, to cast his decisive vote and secure America's glorious destiny of freedom and independence. A equestrian statue honoring Rodney's key contribution now anchors Spirit of 76 at Freedom Park, or Freedom Plaza, a new exhibition in D.C. honoring the heroes and martyrs of the American Revolution. That's a name I haven't heard before. So his ride was about action when the country was on the line, not empty talk. Next, Trump says the same fighting spirit is back, calling this the golden age for American workers and factories. Right now, we're in a golden age, he says.
What's so amazing about this country, in your words, for the last 250 years? You always say like never been seen before. There's never been a country like this that's ever been seen in the history of the world.
Well, a lot of people don't understand that right now we are in a golden age. You understand it very well. You cover it very well. We have more factories being built today than ever before. We have more people working today than at any time ever in the history of our country, and people making more money than they've ever made. I'm not talking about rich people. I'm talking about people that have like normal or normalized jobs, more money than they've ever made before. 401ks are up at levels that they've never seen before, up 80 and 90%. And the stock market's at an all-time high. I think it's 81 days out of a short, year and a half. 81 days, we have 81 records. So nobody's ever seen anything like it.
So while Trump makes the case the country is building again, the birthday celebration keeps getting bigger. Even France is saluting America, lighting up the Statue of Liberty for the 250th. France gifted America the stunning light show for the Statue of Liberty in honor of our 250th birthday. Ed Krasenstein even posting, "Thank you, France." Cool is that? So the Statue of Liberty display was a reminder America still commands attention from the world back here at home. Washington preparing to cap it off with what could be the biggest fireworks show the country's ever seen.
Tomorrow's festivities here in Washington, D.C. will end what is expected to be the largest fireworks show in American history. The company in charge of bringing it all to life, Pyrotechnico, has been putting on displays for more than a century. Her team of 75 people has spent the last 6 months planning and designing every single detail. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano is with Pyrotechnico's president, Rocco Vitale. Rob.
Hey, Vlad, I know this is kind of weird, but this is a thrill of a lifetime. I'm a bit starstruck to meet a pyrotechnic. And you've been doing this your whole life. You told me off camera your first memory as a child was right here during the National Fireworks Display. But things have changed now. Try to put in perspective what's going to happen tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, this show is something that the world has never seen before based on scale. We're here at West Potomac Park looking at a portion of the display where we have 9 locations here, 8 more barges, the entire reflecting pool. So we're excited, and the show is going to be something that's never been seen before.
So it seems to me like this goes from like smaller fireworks, and the canisters get larger as we go back. This one position here, what would that be for a typical town?
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking at this and saying this right here is what you see in a larger community fireworks display that you'll see all over the country.
We've got like 60
and we have like 60 of them here. Yeah, so the scale's amazing.
I remember as a kid, guy running around with a flare, lighting these off. That's not the way it works anymore, is it?
That is not the way it works anymore.
So it's all computerized, and then these just go off automatically?
Yeah, there's a computer sequence and a computer design put together. The show's controlled by computers, and basically it's automated.
Mm-hmm. I see you've got fire extinguishers. We're going to have fire trucks. I mean, this is a dangerous business. What are the precautions that you guys take for, something if something bad happens?
Well, it's been a great effort by everybody here, from our staff, the Parks Department, the fire department, a lot of the government agencies, the DOT, ATF, and we're trying to create, and we'll create a monumental show, and it takes all those organizations to come together to do that in a safe way, and that's the most important thing.
Well, last question: what's your favorite firework that we can look for tomorrow night?
Wow! So
are they all your babies?
Well, you know what? One of the things I'm most excited about on the show is the product we selected for it. That was super important to us, to go out and search the globe and here in the United States and find the best material. The opening of the show is pretty outstanding.
You started with a bang, guys. That's show business.
So it's not just D.C. going all in. In Texas, Patriots sent a message from the sky with a bald eagle drone show that left the usual anti-American crowd looking even more ridiculous. Check this out.
Including their America 250 July 4th celebrations. This video is footage from North Richland Hills, which is a suburb of Dallas-Fort Worth, where 2,500 drones filled the sky. Just look at that. The drone show included iconic American images like Uncle Sam and a giant red, white, and blue eagle with pyrotechnics attached to the drones, which gave them some extra flair. I have never seen anything quite like that before that we see on our screen, guys. Those are your headlines.
So Texas brought the modern muscle, but the Patriot instinct goes all the way back to the founding. Peter Navarro next with the story on how Americans tore down King George's statue and turned it into 42,088 musket balls.
In July of 1776, King George III still towered over New York City, not in person, in lead. At Bowling Green, near the tip of Manhattan, stood a gilded 4,000-pound statue of King George on horseback, dressed like a Roman emperor. It had been erected just 6 years earlier as a monument to British power. But by the summer of 1776, Americans no longer saw majesty in this statue. They saw tyranny. On July 9, 1776, George Washington gathered his troops in New York and had the newly adopted Declaration of Independence read aloud. The words had barely settled before soldiers, sailors, and patriots surged down Broadway to Bowling Green and toppled the King George statue. While the crowd saw tyranny toppled, Connecticut patriot Oliver Wolcott saw bullets. 4,000 pounds of lead bullets for a Continental Army Wolcott knew would be desperate for ammunition. So Wolcott had the shattered pieces of King George loaded onto boats and shipped to Connecticut. From there, ox carts hauled the remains of King George more than 60 miles over rough country roads to Wolcott's home in Litchfield. And in the Wolcott family orchard, a shed became a foundry. His wife Laura, his daughter Marianne, and local neighbors worked over melting pots, pouring the king's lead into bullet molds. 42,088 musket balls in all. Some of those bullets were fired 2 years later at the Battle of Monmouth, the brutal New Jersey showdown where Washington's army proved it could stand in the open field against British regulars. You have to love the irony. Britain sent America a monument to empire. America sent it right back at muzzle velocity. So let's celebrate our nation's 250th birthday as we remember patriots like Oliver Wolcott who made it all possible. From the White House, I'm Peter Navarro.
How cool. What a cool story is that? So melting a tyrant statue into ammunition. Next, we close on a powerful piece of American memory. The first time God Bless America was sung.
And now we take great...
Amen. How beautiful is that? So Peter Navarro handed this story its steel spine. In 1776, patriots looked at King George III in Roman garb and saw 4,000 pounds of lead bullets. The ruling class erected a monument to power. American patriots ripped it down and turned it into ammunition. That's the tradition Donald Trump is reviving, not the fake sanitized version approved by faculty lounges and corporate HR departments. The real thing. Grit, defiance, usefulness, victory. Trump reached back to Caesar Rodney's storm ride while the anti-American establishment kept peddling shame. He reached for founders who suffered, rode, fought, and voted. The left reached for grievance flags and sneering lectures. That fight's over. Trump put the founders back on the field, and the patriot side is winning again. So enjoy every second of this one, folks. Enjoy the barges sliding into place on the Potomac. Enjoy the bald eagle blazing across the Texas sky from 2,500 drones. Enjoy the White House celebrating America's greatest hits since 1776 instead of bowing to the professional America loathers who spent years humiliating this country in its own capital. And when Donald Trump walks onto that mall in the heat and delivers the longest speech he promised, understand what you're looking at. You're watching a president who loves the nation he leads and refuses to treat American history like a crime scene. That alone feels revolutionary after the garbage this country endured before January 20th of 2025. So share this with somebody who's sick of apology politics and drop your favorite founding story in the comments. Let the haters choke on the fireworks. America is 250, and under Trump, it's done bowing its head. And so are we. We're done bowing to YouTube and letting them determine when you get the news. And that's why we set up this telephone number, 844-840-4963. We're bypassing YouTube, going direct to you, sending you a text message every night. All you got to do is text the words raw feed to that number, and you will stay on the inside track of what's happening in this country. And celebrate. It's not too late. Make sure you go to the Next News merch shelf below this video or shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.